The film opens with a tense sequence in Dubai. Two secret agents are infiltrating a building to copy classified data from a computer server. Their colleague, an agent named Nigel, warns them through their communication devices that they need to leave immediately because a man known as Crown is on his way. Despite the warning, they decide to stay until the transfer is complete. Just moments after the data is secured, Crown catches up to them and a gunfight breaks out. Both agents are killed, and Crown shuts down the computer system connected to one of their laptops.
Is he listening? Oh, God.
This is Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, Ghost War. The story then shifts to New York, where Jack Ryan has left the CIA and is trying to live a normal life as a civilian working in risk management. While out exercising, he suddenly finds himself being chased by several black vehicles. Jack takes off running, weaving through shops and side streets, but eventually he's caught. It turns out the people chasing him are working for James Greer, his former boss, who is now serving as the deputy director of the CIA. Greer asks Jack for help with what sounds like a simple mission in Dubai. All he has to do is retrieve an information package from one of their informants. Jack initially refuses because he wants nothing to do with the world of espionage anymore. However, Greer keeps pushing and even assigns Mike November as backup to accompany Jack on the trip to Dubai. Eventually, Jack and Mike fly to Dubai together. After arriving, Jack first handles his civilian responsibilities by attending a business presentation with his colleague, Arya. Once the meeting is over, he uses jet lag as an excuse to skip dinner with the team so he can focus entirely on his secret assignment. Jack and Mike then head to a crowded harbor to meet their contact. Using a small earpiece and following instructions, Jack boards a ship to meet the courier. Unfortunately, the meeting immediately takes a turn for the worse. The courier becomes visibly nervous when he realizes that James Greer isn't the one who showed up. He warns Jack that the situation is far more dangerous than he realizes because Greer has become a target. Before Jack can learn anything more, Mike warns him through the earpiece that they're being watched. A woman dressed entirely in black is attempting to board the same vessel. Moments later, the courier hands Jack a pack of cigarettes. At that exact moment, someone suddenly slashes the courier's throat. Before Jack even has time to react, the woman in black appears and points a gun directly at him. The second he sees an opening, Jack leaps onto a small speedboat belonging to one of the attackers. A brutal fight quickly erupts aboard the moving boat. Just when the attacker seems cornered, he's suddenly taken out by a sniper from a distance. Meanwhile, Mike manages to seize a speedboat and picks up Jack as police sirens begin closing in. But to their surprise, the mysterious woman is already on board. She forces both Jack and Mike onto the boat, and the three of them escape together. After the dramatic getaway in Dubai, the story shifts to James Greer's office. Not long after receiving a package containing files labeled Starling, Greer gets a threatening call from Liam Crown. Crown demands that Jack return the data Nigel had taken and warns that if it isn't handed over, he'll personally come after Jack himself. At the same time, Jack and Mike wake up tied up inside a safe house. Moments later, the mysterious woman appears and immediately frees Jack. She introduces herself as Emma Marlowe, an MI6 agent. Emma informs Jack that he has become the prime suspect in the double murder case in Dubai. She then reveals a part of James Greer's past that Jack never knew about. Using an old photograph, Emma explains the truth behind Starling. Starling was a covert black ops unit formed after the September 11th attacks by Greer, Nigel, and Crown. The organization became infamous for its ruthless methods and its willingness to ignore legal boundaries in the pursuit of terrorists. Emma pressures Jack into working with her. In exchange, she promises access to Greer and a way to clear the legal trouble hanging over him in Dubai. Soon afterward, Jack is flown to London aboard a private jet and brought directly to MI6 headquarters to meet Greer face-to-face. The reunion quickly turns into a heated confrontation. Jack is furious that Greer kept Starling's dark history hidden from him. Greer, on the other hand, insists that those brutal methods were necessary to protect the country from even greater threats. He argues that intelligence work is full of harsh realities and suggests that Jack is still thinking like an analyst, rather than someone willing to face the ugly truth behind national security. Eventually, tensions cool down as they join an intelligence briefing with MI6 Deputy Director Andrew Spear. Using partially recovered data from the hard drive belonging to Nigel's killer, the team uncovers photographs of the Karakoram Mountains, along with suspicious financial transactions connected to Aldgate in London. Greer immediately recognizes the significance of the findings. The data points to a Tower Bridge bombing plot connected to a militant group known as PMN, a plan he personally stopped 2 decades earlier. From this, Greer realizes that Liam Crown is deliberately resurrecting an old terrorist operation. To him, it is a warning, and perhaps an act of revenge for what he sees as Starling's betrayal and eventual shutdown. Understanding how dangerous the situation has become, Greer immediately contacts CIA Director Elizabeth Wright. For the first time, he tells her the full story of Starling and the extreme measures the unit once employed. He explains how he confronted PMN's leadership years ago and prevented their bombing campaign, only to discover that Crown continued Starling's mission long after the unit was supposedly dismantled. Realizing the gravity of the threat, Greer asks Elizabeth Wright to come to London immediately. Meanwhile, during a surveillance operation inside a van, Emma admits that she has been monitoring Jack's conversations with Greer. Her goal was to make sure neither of them was hiding anything and that no betrayal was taking place behind the scenes. A short time later, Mike, who is conducting surveillance from inside a nearby restaurant, radios in with an update. He has spotted suspicious activity involving the target they have been tracking. At the same time, CIA Director Elizabeth Wright arrives in London and is welcomed by James Greer. What begins as a surveillance mission quickly escalates into a large-scale armed police operation in the heart of the city. Jack and Emma join the tactical teams as they move in. Meanwhile, with help from local authorities, Mike successfully captures the foreign suspect they have been investigating. Soon afterward, the man is taken to his apartment, where the team discovers a massive stockpile of weapons and high-powered explosives. But as Jack and Emma inspect the location and report their findings, something doesn't sit right with either of them. Why would such a large cache of weapons be left virtually unprotected? It doesn't take long for Jack to realize the truth. The entire operation has been a distraction orchestrated by Liam Crown. The weapons, the suspect, and the raid were all designed to pull security resources away from the real target. And that target is Greer and Wright. Jack immediately tries to warn Greer, but he's too late. Just as Greer approaches his vehicle, a massive explosion erupts and throws him backward. The blast destroys the cars, seriously injures Greer, and kills Wright instantly. As soon as Jack, Mike, and Emma hear about the attack, they rush toward Greer's location. At the scene, Greer spots Crown observing the chaos from a distance before driving away. Furious and determined to catch him, Greer immediately gives chase. A high-speed pursuit tears through the crowded streets of London. Before long, Crown's men join the chase and open fire on Greer's vehicle. At the same time, Jack is forced to take a dangerous route through tunnels and even drive against traffic after becoming trapped in congestion. Another intense running gun battle erupts across the city. The chase finally comes to an end near a church after a collision forces the vehicles to stop. Crown calmly steps out of his car as if he has everything under control. Greer moves to stop him, but another vehicle packed with Crown's gunmen suddenly arrives and unleashes a storm of heavy gunfire. Greer fights back, but eventually runs out of ammunition and finds himself trapped with nowhere to go. Fortunately, Jack, Emma, and Mike arrive just in time. Together, they eliminate the attackers and pull Greer out of the deadly situation. With Wright confirmed dead, Greer is now the acting director of the CIA. The team quickly evacuates him and moves him into hiding. Following an emotional military funeral held in honor of Wright, the team regroups at the isolated Abingdon Air Base to figure out their next move. Their investigation reveals that the attackers involved in the London assault were members of OTOM, an old Russian paramilitary organization that had once been dismantled by the Starling unit. The discovery confirms what they had begun to suspect. Crown has been deliberately reviving long-forgotten terrorist and extremist groups in an attempt to prove that the world cannot survive without covert organizations like Starling operating in the shadows. In the middle of their discussions, a mysterious package addressed to Greer arrives at the base. After it is thoroughly checked for explosives, the package is finally delivered to him. Inside is a note containing a crucial clue, one that immediately allows Greer to pinpoint Crown's location. Not long afterward, Jack and the team move out to confront Liam Crown in a crowded public area. Crown remains as arrogant as ever, openly challenging Greer's moral beliefs while demanding the return of the data that Nigel had stolen. The team prepares to move in and arrest him, But they quickly realize they're trapped. A sniper's laser sight is already fixed on Greer's chest. Any attempt to make a move would likely get him killed instantly. To protect Greer and buy some time, Jack comes up with a bluff. He claims that he is the one holding the data and that it has been hidden in Dubai. Crown takes the bait and agrees to meet Jack there to retrieve it. Once Crown leaves, Jack explains the truth to Greer and Mike. The cigarette pack Nigel handed him in Dubai had never contained any valuable information. It was merely a decoy designed to distract anyone who came looking for it. Jack believes the real data was transmitted digitally through a network connection instead. Determined to find proof, he and Emma secretly visit Nigel's hidden apartment above a bar later that night. Inside, they discover an old computer that Nigel had been using to monitor server transmissions directly. Jack immediately contacts Patrick, a technology specialist at the agency, and asks him to trace the server's coordinates. As they search the apartment, Jack notices something troubling. Crown had clearly been there before. The evidence becomes obvious when Jack realizes that Crown somehow knows Emma's secret codename, information that should have been highly restricted. That discovery raises serious concerns about a mole inside MI6, with Andrew Spear becoming the most likely suspect. Back at the airbase, Greer and Mike discuss their limited options. Mike believes the only permanent solution is to eliminate Crown before he can strike again. Meanwhile, Emma intentionally feeds Spear false information, telling him that Nigel's apartment turned out to be a dead end. Shortly afterward, Jack reveals what Patrick has uncovered. The data they're searching for is stored on a physical server located in Dubai. With that revelation, the mission becomes clear. The team must return to Dubai and secure the server before Crown can get his hands on it. Without wasting any time, both sides begin moving toward the airport from their respective locations and board private jets, setting the stage for the final showdown. After arriving in Dubai, Jack and Emma receive assistance from Jamal Ali, an intelligence officer from the United Arab Emirates. While traveling under the protection of Emirati security forces, Jack contacts his technology expert once again. Before long, the analyst provides the location of the server signal, leading directly to Dubai Marina. At the very same time, Liam Crown has also arrived in Dubai. That means both sides are now in the same city, racing toward the same objective and an inevitable final confrontation. The team quickly heads for the server facility located in Dubai Marina. Local intelligence authorities are unable to participate directly in the operation unless a major emergency arises, leaving Jack, Emma, and Mike to handle the mission themselves. The trio infiltrates the same server building seen at the beginning of the film and immediately finds themselves in a fierce gun battle against Crown's hired mercenaries guarding the facility. As the firefight intensifies, gunfire shatters the glass floor beneath Emma. She nearly plunges from a deadly height, but Jack manages to grab her hand just in time and pull her back to safety. Meanwhile, Crown and his men arrive at the building and begin hunting down Jack's team. Guided in real time by Patrick from headquarters, the team pushes deeper into the facility while taking out guards along the way. The firefights continue as they fight their way toward the heart of the complex. Despite the constant danger, they eventually reach the main server room. Emma blows open the reinforced security door, allowing the team to enter. Jack immediately connects the server system to Patrick's network and begins downloading the entire database of Crown's secret operations. But they don't have much time. Crown and his men soon storm the room, triggering yet another intense firefight. The battle escalates further when Crown throws a grenade into the area, causing a powerful explosion. Just as the download finishes, Mike uses a construction crane to smash through the wall of the server room, creating a massive escape route for Jack and Emma. While fighting their way out, disaster strikes. One of Crown's gunmen appears from behind and shoots Emma, leaving her critically wounded and placing Jack in an impossible position. With no way out and Emma close to death, Jack decides to surrender. He hands over the bag containing the downloaded data to Crown. However, before Crown can finish him off, a helicopter led by James Greer arrives at the scene and unleashes heavy fire on Crown and his forces. The attack leaves Crown mortally wounded. In the aftermath, Jack is given the opportunity to kill Crown himself, But instead of taking revenge, he chooses to walk away. Crown is left to die from his injuries, bringing the long conflict to an end. With the mission finally complete, Greer prepares his final report for the President of the United States. Reflecting on the importance of preserving peace, he officially recommends Jack Ryan for the position of the next Deputy Director of the CIA. Outside the building, Jack takes a moment to say goodbye to Emma. Their farewell also leaves the door open for future cooperation if their paths ever cross again. The film concludes with Jack and Greer boarding a helicopter together and heading back to CIA headquarters, ready to begin a new chapter of leadership and face whatever challenges lie ahead. So the moral of the story is, if someone hands you a pack of cigarettes, a secret server, and a trip to Dubai, just stay home because it's probably going to become a global spy war by lunchtime.